And keep making bogeys.
Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Mark.
Can I call you Daniel?
Of course you can.
I guess you're christened Daniel, are you?
I am, yeah.
So Daniel and myself, Mark, we're here testing the new Cobra F8. It's very dark still, it's quite early, and it's really windy. We've got the Plus and the standard F8. We're going to try them on the course, and we're also going to take them in the studio to show you what we can do with them as well, subject to the rain we get. Let's get stuck in. So F8, we've got the CNC milled face is going to be the big talking point, which we're going to talk about today, tell you what we feel with it, what it actually does. I'm seeing some very confusing ideas around it, unfortunately some of it from the press and other things which we'll talk about. I have got the Plus, Dan has the regular one.
See how high I can get this one, eh?
Dan is set at 10 degrees where I'm down at 9 on my lower spinning one in theory. That's a great drive. Perfect.
Oh, that is high. That's good for me.
Get up, Dan.
Get up.
Sound. That's a little right, isn't it, on that line from this tee?
It's a bit right, but it's okay.
So what I'm impressed with a lot with these drivers is down by the ball, I think they look fantastic.
They do, they look stunning, yeah.
Cobra have a history of making fantastic looking drivers, certainly in recent history. I think they've made some really stunning ones, and this one's up there with them. It's got a touch, and they're probably not going to like me saying this, a touch of the old TaylorMades about it, isn't it? With the kind of carbon crown and shape.
Yeah.
So technology, CNC milled face, we talk about that, which has got a big bump coming.
Hold on.
No, I drove that lovely, Dan. Basically, the CNC milled face is giving them a few things they can do with the face. They're trying to make it as thin as possible.
Yeah.
In certain places to keep ball speeds up across that face.
Yeah, they're saying it's the thinnest face they've ever made.
Okay,
On a driver,
so it's going to be the thinnest they can make. So the tolerances with CNC milled, which we've learned from kind of wedges discussions, can be higher, in effect, is what I understand from milling, opposed to just, I guess, finishing it the way they just kind of sand it down, do they normally?
They're just making it more precise when it comes to that.
And then we're also getting a slightly different roll and bulge idea, aren't we? The bottom of the club is curving down a bit more, is it? Less,
So we're getting more bulge at the top.
Yeah.
To produce a higher launch, lower spin.
Okay.
And then we're getting a little bit of a less bulge at the bottom to create a little bit more spin to get that ball up when you catch it off the bottom of the club.
So basically the CNC mill face is giving them the opportunity to control the curvature of it and the thinness of it.
Correct, yeah.
To try and help you get the most out of those kind of miss hits. That's what they're always trying to maximise nowadays, because centre hits have been maximised for years, which is what people seem to be forgetting. It's those miss hits where they're really trying to kind of help you.
Yeah.
So here I am. That is not a fairway hit. Coach would definitely class that as a fairway hit. But look over here. Daniel's son has done me on the line though, on the angle. I reckon we're about the same, bruh. So big question I see flying around, I think some of the journos at the day, I didn't go to today because I can't spend a day with journos. We're talking about the CNC mill face.
Yeah.
Talking about surely it'll create more spin because they're thinking about wedges.
Yeah, well it's not quite that, is it?
No, well what happens is you're hitting a dry ball off a dry tee, you've got nothing to kind of disperse. That's what milling and grooves are trying to do. I mean, if you look at most drivers, there's no grooves around the hitting area because they're not needed. You're also getting almost complete rebound. You're not getting slide like you do on a wedge, where they're trying everything they can do to get some friction, to get some control on that ball.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, you could be on a perfect lie, you wouldn't really need grooves or milling. It's when you get in the rough, the wedges are really cooling on that kind of technology. So forget spin, adding spin with a CNC milling. It's nothing to do with it. That's kind of a misunderstanding about what milling and spin and what it does in relationship to each other. One other comment, will it wreck the ball if you're like a heavy across the face kind of player? Don't know, but to be honest with you, I'm going to say no, I absolutely don't think it'll wreck the ball at all.
I agree.
Right, so we also collected some numbers indoor in Dan's studio, so let's go and check out what those numbers look like. So that's 5 with the standard Cobra. So averaging carry 255 because I had a 243 Healy drop off, 261, 260, 258, 252. Spinning at 26, but again had a 333 Healy cut. Again, kind of showing my strike override, CNC milling, and anything doesn't matter how much fin you make the face. I'm still getting that big drop off from the spin, stroke, strike, loss of ball speed as well. So that's 5 with the plus. So plus 255,
Similar.
same as the non-plus, spinning exactly the same on average. 1 mile an hour more ball speed, topping out at 153, which is where I get my 163. Again, strike playing its bigger. I'd have to hit hundreds to see a difference. I reckon on average you're going to be 200 to 300 revs less with the plus, but subject to where you hit it, you can see what happens. They come out the same.
Yeah, it's 10. It's not 10 and a half.
Yeah, so Dan is changing loft, so he's got this club more spec for him.
Because I need loft.
Get up, Dan.
Get up.
So Dan carrying 247, spinning at 3.6. So you can see again, Dan is that higher spinning player. 247, topping out at 259 though. I mean, you're getting some good ones on your good hits out of that, aren't you?
Yeah, it felt good.
Dan launches averaging 13. You can see I'm averaging with the same club 15 and 14. So there's your difference in height. So plus for Dan is going 255 carry compared to 247 with the standard. But if you look at what GC Quad called side spins, so think of that as curvature if you like, he's got 2 0 side spin balls. So spin axis 0, they're button balls, which is why you're getting a bit more out of that. It's spinning around, again 300 less. I think the big take home for me for both of these is they're very close. They're not massive differences. No. They're you know, it's a small little step. So I think again it opens both clubs up to more golfers really.
Yeah.
Someone's it. Oh, it's a Truvis. Perfect middle ball. Where is Dan going this time? He went a little bit left with the wind off the right. That never works. Right, the looks of this are fantastic. So we get this kind of trip something. It'll come up what it's called. I can't remember what they call it because I try not to get too involved with what they call it. Basically aerodynamics on the top, these ridges, and you also get in a few, well, it's not on there, on the bottom there as well, I guess, aren't you? And you've got the same on yours.
Yeah, we do. We have exactly the same on this one.
So, I mean, I have not, with all the aerodynamic talk from other companies and obviously now Cobra, I've never seen anyone increase club head speed, personally. I'm putting that out there. I know none of the companies are going to like me saying that, but I've not seen anyone increase club head speed. I mean, we could all lie and say they have, but I'm not seeing it. Grey to the black with the carbon top looks fantastic.
Looks stunning. As you said, very similar to TaylorMade.
Yeah.
But I think this is kind of a little bit less intrusive on that front.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice looking down on it, definitely.
The Plus version has weights going through the centre that you can switch. So I've got it in the low setting, heavier weight at the front, or you can whack it at the back, which will change spin, which you've seen from the numbers we did indoors.
And I've got it in the back, and I've got it in the sort of heel area here, so I can move the weights around either side from there in those pods.
So you can make that more drawery.
I can make that more drawery if I get a bit more weight in that heel.
And we've both got the changeable necks.
And we've both got the changeable necks. 440, 460?
Yeah, well done. Yeah, so slightly smaller head. It doesn't really look it though.
No, it doesn't.
Kind of footprint down by the ball.
Yeah.
Not really seeing it that much, and that's why I'm never a big fan of club head size, because obviously I could have, if you think about it, a 440 club head which is that big down by the ball.
Yeah.
It would just be a massive long pole, because if you just have, you know, it's filling it up. The RNA have a bucket. You know how they test it, the size of the head, if it's legal, they have a bucket. And if they put the club in the bucket of water and the water comes out, the CC's too big.
Really?
That's how they test it.
Didn't know that.
They told me that. That is their scientific way. So obviously you can have 440, 460 in any shape and it will look small footprint, big footprint.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not always a massive fan of what that means. It used to be like such a selling tool, big head 460, but it kind of doesn't mean that anymore because people are trying to play with the shapes.
You could definitely see the difference with the Ping, didn't you?
Yeah.
When that was the G400, that was definitely a smaller looking head.
Absolutely.
Whereas these,
they
can't
look
really
the same,
see.
even though they are apparently a small CC. It's a narrow fairway with this wind, isn't it?
It's a tight one, this one, yeah.
You got to go over the left.
I've hit those trees before on the right.
Yeah.
That has gone.
That's down
that
the middle,
sailing.
That's
very,
down the middle.
Very high though.
Yeah.
That is windy. I might have to go for my little knuckleball down here.
Knuckleball for Dan, going for low ball.
Low ball.
Yes, low. It's a bit up the left. That might be in a bit of trouble. We'll play this hole out, Dan, shall we? Interesting one, okay? CNC milled face, and they've done stuff to the top and the bottom. I hit that one slightly off the top. Wind howling off the left. It's a decent drive in my book, but you can see I've just missed the fairway and now I'm blocked out. Doesn't matter what any of these companies do, you still need the game, you still need to be able to play them. They can only help, not in measurable amounts, but tiny amounts. Which is why I don't like it when people get really hecked up in kind of tech talks, do you know what I mean? It's kind of, to me it's a little bit kind of desk golf rather than playing golf. Do you know what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
You have got Cobra Connect in the top as well, which I love. I'm a big fan of what was Game Golf or is Game Golf, and this is powered by Arcos, the Connect at the top. It really shows you where you're winning and losing on the golf course. Just make sure you keep using it. Lots of people kind of use it and then fall out of using it a bit. Are you okay? We haven't found yours yet, have we?
I'm alright, I'm good.
I'm going low high.
You're going low then high, yeah?
Yeah.
Two trees to work with.
Coach is normally quite good at these. I can't do these so well. So. There it is.
Laid up. Good layup.
I wasn't low enough. I hit the first. I was close though, wasn't it? Down up the left, which is definitely the better miss because he's got the line in now.
Yeah, I agree. The guys, you know, that are talking about the numbers on from their computer at home and looking at all that, you know, at the end of the day, we've got to come out and play them.
Yeah.
You know, I've hit a ball there that that's my go-to shot. You know, that lower one.
Yeah.
I get up, Dan. I can play that. I can play that with that club. If anything, it went just a fraction higher because possibly to do with that new sort of technology at the bottom of the club, maybe get it to rise up a little bit more.
And again, the point I keep making, like, are you hitting? Not many people would hit their go-to shot in a fit. Often they get kind of bogged down in trying to hit this massive ball because they want to beat the machine.
Correct,
You've got to hit those gaming shots, which is why we try and bring them on the course.
Right, I've got a little knockdown 9 here, isn't it?
Down 9. I'm going to chip and putt, obviously.
Yeah,
my chipping's brilliant.
Yours is a nice layup.
So you need to make birdie. Nice layup. Passive aggressive. Oh yeah, that's a lovely little knockdown.
He doesn't normally like these shots.
I would putt this if we were playing properly.
Yeah, he would putt this. Absolutely he would. Even though he'd tell me not to. Yeah, that's not bad.
So Dan for the F8 birdie.
F8 birdie, come on.
And I'm for the F8 plus par. Oh, good run, pick it up.
This is just your length, Mark.
I've got the pro version, I'm going to make a bogey. How embarrassing. Another point that Cobra did tell me, which will be interesting to see how that plays out, I'm sure, is that these two drivers are going to cost the same.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So they should be the same in shops. They don't think that they should punish the better player.
I think there was about a £30 difference between the two before in the F7 range. So yeah, that's good. That's
so they
good news.
used to be happy to punish people then.
Yeah.
Oh, standard bogey.
You never miss them.
I never did like Cobra drivers, to be honest.
One up.
So, joking aside, I think that looks great. Feels good.
Yeah.
I don't feel any difference off the face at all. I think it's, am I allowed to say this? Is it a little bit of a marketing ploy? As in, I'm not saying it's not the finished face they've ever produced, and I'm not saying it doesn't do the things they're saying with the roll and the bulge.
Yeah.
You can just see when we play there, we're still overriding anything.
Yeah, sure.
It's a great talking point, and I also think on the shop floor they'll look great. You know, it looks like a wedge face, which is always very touchable and light. It's nice.
Right, yeah.
Really good drivers. Go and check them out. Post comments down below. Cobra drivers, if it's something you would use, try or not. F8, F8 Plus, which one would you go for? Let's hear you down there.
F8 for me.
Oh, F8
for me.
I'd go for the Plus and keep making bogeys.